An invitation to the gods. Hello, One Piece enthusiasts. I'm the One Piece nerd, and today let's talk about One Piece chapter 1136. I know I'm late and I'm wrong. I apologize, but this chapter is great. I don't think I have time for theories until next chapter comes out. I guess after the next chapter comes out, I'll try to come up with a theory, but right now I've been very busy balancing life. Before I move on, make sure to like and subscribe. Helps the channel a lot. Now that you have, let's begin. So, yeah, the Gods Knights are here to invite Loki to be a part of the Gods Knights. Considering the previous king's relationship with the world government, King Harold trying to open up Elbaf to the world, and the world government obviously should be a fan of it, and then Loki puts Harold down, and now they want Loki, who subsequently destroyed their only chance of forming an alliance with Elbaf. Now, of course, the most logical conclusion as to the reason why he would be invited is very simple, is because the world government has this policy. If you are not Sun God Nika, they will try to convince you to be a part of the world government. If you are famous, if you are strong, they will try to make you a part of the world government anyhow, and, well, make sure that you don't do crazy stuff. Well, that's, I think, their plan with Loki, as far as from what I could see. But how healthy is that? How appropriate is that? I have no idea. And from the looks of it, they want him bad. They want him really, really, really bad. Now, granted, yeah, Loki's not gonna accept it. Loki doesn't like the world government. Like I said in my previous video, I think part of the reason why Loki was so much, so obsessed with the fact that he had to overthrow the king was probably because he didn't like the king's ideologies when it comes to making an alliance with the world government. I told you guys that there was a conflict in interest, and this is a very prevalent idea of, yeah, there definitely was a conflict of interest. Now, coming back to Loki being strong and being chaotic and him being Sun God, finally got context as to the nature of Sun God as believed by the people of Elbaf. The Sun God is meant to be someone who is going to change the fate of the world. Some say he's a savior, some say he will create chaos and destroy everything, which from the context we've had thus far makes sense. You know why? We go back to Madame Charlie's prediction of Luffy destroying Fishman Island. Luffy is Joy Boy. We are 100% sure of that. Luffy is going to destroy Fishman Island. But he is going to destroy Fishman Island in order to save the world. So I think the entirety of the context of Sun God Nika is he will liberate the world, but at what cost? The cost of destruction of a few places, which probably is what got Loki in the head, being like the Sun God is supposed to be someone who creates calamities and chaos, and I will be that so that I can be Sun God Nika. And from what we know, the most giants in Elbaf, the dream is to become Sun God Nika. But then again, it's not them, and it kind of goes to show that maybe Joy Boy was a giant. And yes, from the looks and the proportions, maybe he was. Maybe a buccaneer, but also a giant. Anywho, we can also go back to Shanks. Shanks is going to be prevalent in Elbaf. We already knew about it, and we finally found the reason as to why Loki hates Shanks is because Shanks tied Loki up, and then now Loki can't go anywhere. Now, this has a lot of implications. In all seriousness, that is to be expected by Shanks. He is strong, he is a Yonko, he is probably stronger than most other Yonkos we've seen, most characters. He's probably top 5, top 10 in the world in terms of strength. Him locking up Loki is fine on its own, but when you know that the entirety of Elbaf fought against Loki and couldn't do anything, and then Shanks single-handedly comes in and locks Loki up, I think it tells more about Shanks than it does about Elbaf or Loki. Loki is strong. You don't just go up against the entire nation of Elbaf and survive. But when it comes to Shanks, I'm scared from the story writing perspective, because now I've been diving more deep into story writing and characters, and in fact promises, progress, and whatever jargon terms, whatever you have in writing. The fact that Shanks is being set up as this ultimate pirate, or the strongest pirate as of now, being this strong to the point where this guy who couldn't be put down by the entirety of Elbaf was locked up by one guy. And that's it. I would like it if it's Shanks' entire crew. That would make a lot of sense. But even that is a little far-fetched, considering we already know that the red hair pirates are going to lose against the Blackbeard pirates or the world government. They're set up to lose. Now, whether it be through underhanded tactics or in a fair and square battle, you're setting things up too high. And I really hope that Oda delivers on the promise of the red hair pirates being strong, but them also being defeated because they're not the protagonist or the final antagonist. Now, that's something I am really concerned about from a writing perspective. Let me know what you guys think. Do you think the Red Hair Pirates are overhyped, or you think that they're being set up to be too strong and somehow will end up having a very disappointing ending, kind of like Kaido, in my eyes? Now, I'm not gonna open that bag of worms because that invites a lot of hate, and I don't really mind the hate. I like the engagement, but I'm not in the mood for that right now. And lastly, yeah, Luffy, Zoro, and Nami are going there to rescue Loki. And Zoro is a very logical person, especially more than Luffy, of course. And Nami, being scared of danger and calamities and smarter than Zoro, I'm kind of surprised that they're in on the idea of seeing this Loki guy and maybe letting him go if he has promise. And from what they've heard from the people of Elbaf, it's kind of unexpected for Nami to be in this, and obviously Zoro, but the encounter of Zoro, Luffy, and the Holy Knights along with Loki should be fun, and I'm very much looking forward to that. Now, as to what could happen to Loki, Loki will obviously say no. He'll keep saying no. And Loki is your chaotic, evil kind of person, kind I like the most, and he does not care at all. So, I don't really see the idea of him joining the Holy Knights. I see the idea of Luffy letting Loki go, and that being his biggest mistake, and being chaotic for the sake of liberating someone. Now, story can go a lot of ways. I have a few back burner theories in my head. Let's see if I can release them within the next 2 weeks, and that's it for the video, guys. If you guys enjoyed, make sure to like and subscribe. Have a great day, and peace.